Okay, today we're going to use basic facts and patterns to multiply multiples of 10, 100, and 1000 mentally. So let's start off. We have 3 times 90, and we know that 90 is just is a multiple of 10. It's the same as saying like 3 times 9/10. So let's go ahead and figure out what the basic fact is. In this case, it's 3 times 9 because we know that that's just 9/10. So whenever we're doing one of these, we want to use the basic fact first. So I'm going to write that out. 3 times 9. We know that that equals 27. Okay, so we have the basic fact. That's the first step. Next step, we want to go ahead and rewrite the problem. So 3 times 90 equals, well, we know 3 times 9 equals 27. But we're talking about 9/10. So we have to remember to add in that 0 at the end. So 3 times 90 is 270. So if we know the basic fact is 3 times 9 is 27, then if we follow our pattern, we know that 3 times 9/10, or 3 times 90, is 270. So do you see how I just brought that 0 over here? Now, let's go ahead and follow our pattern and pretend we're multiplying by hundreds. So this time, we have 3 times 900. Since we've already done the basic fact, 3 times 9, we can go ahead and write that down. We're not finished because we still need to bring over those zeros. So in this case, it's 3 times 900 equals 2700, or 2700. Let's go ahead, we can even do thousands with this pattern. 3 times 9,000. We know the basic fact, so we can still do the problem. 3 times 9 is 27, just like it was here and just like it was here. But this time we're going to bring over 3 zeros. So 27000, or 27,000. And that's how you solve one of these problems, just using your basic facts and just kind of mentally thinking about what you're multiplying. Another way to look at this is to just do your basic facts first and then add in the zeros. And that's kind of what we were doing earlier. But let's go ahead and look at this problem. We have a 30 and a 50. So those are our two factors, and we got to figure out what the product is. Remember, the product is always going to be the number that the two numbers multiply to make. So in this case, we have a 30 and a 50, but the basic facts are 3 and 5. So let's go ahead and write that out. 3 times 5 equals 15, and now that we have that down, we can figure out what the problem is. So 3 times 5 is 15, so let's go ahead and write the whole problem out. 30 times 50. Now, we know the basic fact is 15, so we can write that down first. But this time we have a 0 on both factors. So 30 times 50. So instead of just adding 1 0, we're going to have to add 2 zeros. So I'm going to draw an arrow here just to help me remember. But in this case, it's 1,500. So we can even like change this into a number that we're dealing with like in the hundreds. So let's pretend that we're multiplying by 30 times 500. Now this might seem a little bit more difficult, but it's not really if you just follow the pattern. Let's go ahead and do the basic fact first. 3 times 5 is still 15, and then we just add in the zeros. Let's count the zeros this time. 1, 2, 3. So we have to add in 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. And now we have 15,000. Now let's pretend this time that both numbers are in the hundreds place, or in the hundreds. So 300 times 500. And in this case, that's going to equal, well, first the basic factor. We have to start it out with that. Or whoops, I don't want to put a comma in there just yet. Let's count the zeros first. 1, 2, 3, 4. So add the zeros in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we got to figure out where our comma goes. In this case, it goes here. So we have 150,000. You can even do this in the thousands place and higher. So in this case, let's go and count the zeros again. Oh, got to write our basic fact down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a lot of zeros, but the pattern stays the same. Do your basic fact, and then go ahead and count the zeros up and throw them in there. And that's just another way to look at it. So good luck.